it's Julia. So today's video is going to be all about my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to call this my affordable eyeshadow palettes or drugstore eyeshadow palettes, but I'm settling on affordable because a lot of these, while they are from affordable brands, they can't necessarily be found at the drugstore. So basically I just want to go through a bunch of my favorite palettes in descending order from lowest price to highest price and just tell you guys why they are an amazing affordable option and why they're some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. All of these eyeshadow palettes are what I consider to be affordable and very good quality for the price. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you to find some really amazing affordable options. I know not everyone has the money to blow on a bunch of high-end Sephora makeup, so finding a good affordable option every now and then is really good to just make makeup more accessible to everyone. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get right into it. Okay, so the first palette that I wanted to talk about is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I picked this up at Rite Aid for I think $6 and I do not like the packaging at all, but we're going to disregard that because the shadows inside are so amazing. Comes with this little applicator thing, so I don't use that, but the shadows in here are amazing. They're very soft and super buttery and pigmented. I don't even know how Wet n Wild did it because these are simply amazing. I'm not planning on doing swatches in the entire video, but I just want to show you guys how amazingly pigmented these are. So I'm going to swatch the pink here. As you can see, very pigmented. I'm going to swatch the definer shade here, also very pigmented. And then my favorite shade in here is this duochrome blue green. And then they swatch really amazingly on the arms as well. So, shade I find is a really great dupe for the shade Retrograde in the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Also a great dupe for MAC's green brown pigment, I think. Really gorgeous duochrome shade. I think the entire palette is worth it just for this shade because clearly it's absolutely stunning. They are all shimmer shades, so if you're wanting a palette that you can create a full look with, I would say this would not be the best option unless you like putting shimmers in the crease. That's not a bad thing, of course, but personally I don't like doing that, so I like to have a couple of mattes in my collection just to fill it out. So this is a palette that I like to use in conjunction with other palettes, preferably like a neutral palette, and I just think it's so beautiful. I think they really knocked it out of the park with the quality, and this makes me definitely want to try out more Wet n Wild shadows, but I would definitely recommend this one. I think the colors are beautiful, very neutral, that you can create so many amazing looks with this one, and yeah, I would definitely recommend this. It's only $6 and it's so good. Okay, so the next palette I wanted to talk about is from e.l.f. Cosmetics, one of my favorite affordable brands. This is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette in Summer Breeze. So it's the Matte for Matte 2. They have the Matte for Matte 1, which is just like all neutral shades. This one has more pops of color in it, and it's a lot more warm tone, so that's what I really like. And then they also came out with the Matte for Matte 3, which I just ordered. I will do a review if you guys want me to. If not, I'm just going to do an e.l.f. haul, and I'll tell you guys my opinions on that one. The Matte for Matte 3 has like blue tones, it's more smoky. This one, however, I think is my favorite out of the three, just because of the colors are so beautiful. I did do a video on my channel comparing this to the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I think it's a really good dupe for it. The mattes in here are very pigmented, they build up well in the eyes, and they're blendable as well. So that's kind of a problem I find with other inexpensive eyeshadows, is that they're not as blendable as a high-end one. But these ones I find blend very well if you're using good techniques. I would recommend going in a windshield wiper motion. I have some pops of color here, like the peachies and the purples. If you did cover those up, you would see that you have very nice neutral shades. So I think it's a very versatile palette. It's only $10. It's very sturdy, so it won't break in your luggage. So if you're wanting to take this traveling, I think it's a good option. Overall though, I know it's very hard to get this in the drugstore. I don't think they have it in Target, and I think it's only available on elf.com. Okay, next up, this is one of my favorite brands in the entire world, drugstore or high-end. It's from ColourPop. This is the ColourPop Yes Please Pressed Powder Shadow Palette. The packaging is white, so it does get dirty, so please excuse the mess in my palette. I absolutely love ColourPop's eyeshadows. I think all of their palettes are really amazing, so I would definitely recommend picking up any of the palettes that you like. This one is my personal favorite. It's a good dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, so if you're wanting a good dupe for that, go for this one. It's only $16, whereas Natasha Denona's $129. Big price difference there. These shadows are very, very pigmented. They're soft. They do have a little bit of kick up, hence the mess on the palette that I tried to clean up and just made worse. They do kick up a bit of powder, but I find that they blend very well. They're very pigmented and they're buildable on the eyes. This yellow here is one of the best yellows I've ever tried in my collection, and I believe that yellow shadows can be pretty hard to formulate. So that's a pretty big feat for ColourPop. Anyways, I've created some beautiful looks with this. I absolutely love this palette. I would definitely recommend any of their pressed powder shadow palettes. I think they're just so amazing. It's only $16 and I believe it's back in stock permanently. So yeah, get your hands on this one because it's so good. you don't see any ColourPop like pre-made palettes that really suit your fancy, I would definitely recommend going for their pressed powder shadows. Here I have my little empty palette of ColourPop pressed powder shadows, except for this one. This is a pressed glitter from somewhere else. Here I have 8 ColourPop pressed powder shadows. I think the formula of these is so amazing. Like I said, they're very pigmented, but they blend really, really well. I do like the mattes a little bit better than the shimmers, but I think the shimmers are absolutely amazing. I kind of arranged this as a dupe for the Laura Lee Cat's Pajamas palette, so that's kind of what I was going for with this. But I'm just going to point out some of my favorite shades in here. This shade is called Take It Slow. It is my favorite brow bone or an inner corner highlight. It is absolutely stunning. And then this shade here is called Get Out. It is my favorite like matte muted cranberry shade. Very neutral. It's not like super, super red. But this ties in really nicely with all warm toned eyeshadow looks. So I would definitely recommend this one and the brow bone highlight shade. All in all, these are some of the best eyeshadow formulas I've ever tried. They are $5 a pan, so I think it's pretty affordable. You could put together whatever neutral shades you want, whatever you want to fill up your collection with. I think these are absolutely amazing and they're just such an amazing quality. Okay, so the next palette that I wanted to talk about is from Morphe. This is the 25B palette, and this is $18, I believe. You can now get this at Ulta because Morphe's come to Ulta, so it's probably a lot easier to get it on Ulta than it is on Morphe.com. Here are the colors, though. As you can see by the entire aesthetic of my outfit and my lips and my eyes today, these are my colors. I love neutral shades, and I absolutely love the burgundies down here. This is such a stunning palette. I think the quality of these matte shadows is absolutely amazing. They're very blendable, they're very pigmented. These are a lot better than the typical like Morphe 35 like 35 pan palettes. Not to say that those are bad, I'm actually going to talk about those later on in this video, but I think this is a step up from pretty much all the other Morphe palettes except for the Jaclyn Hill. And I actually do like the plastic packaging. It's a lot better quality than like the Wet n Wild packaging. Pretty much has every color I would want to make a nice neutral look with, a nice burgundy look with, nice warm tone look with. I also like to use these cool tone browns up here for my nose contour. So yeah, this is a very good multi-purpose palette. It's only $18. If you don't have shades like this in your collection and you really like the colors in here, I would definitely recommend going for it. It's such an amazing palette. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. So I know I just mentioned these. Here are the Morphe 35 pan palettes. Actually, this is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, and then this is the Morphe 35O. Now, I actually really love these palettes. I think they are amazing quality for the price. This is the 35O. This is pretty much an iconic palette on YouTube. Everyone loves this palette. I think the quality in this palette is like awesome for the price. Not to say it's the best quality eyeshadow in the entire world. I'm not saying this compares to Anastasia, but for the price, I think it's just really good. This is an absolutely beautiful palette. I do love working with this. They blend very well. They're very pigmented. You can build them up. And then in an effort to get myself to use it more often, I actually wrote in names, like I named the shadows, and I feel like that's a cool way to kind of customize it. I felt like I was developing my own eyeshadow palette just by naming the shades. This shimmery orange down here, which I named Pumpkin, is so good. This is like my favorite eyeshadow in pretty much any Morphe palette. I'm actually going to do a tiny swatch. And also you've got like a huge array of like warm neutral browns. So this is pretty much every warm tone lover's dream. It's very affordable. It's 35 colors for $23, so less than $1 per pan. They are good quality shadows. I know some people love to hate on Morphe. I think they are very good quality and I do like them. I'm not being paid to say that. I don't have a code or anything. I genuinely just like Morphe shadows. I also have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I know you cannot get it anymore. This is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette. It was the first collaboration she did with them. I love the berry tone shades down here. She did throw in a green in there, which doesn't really tie in with the berries, of course, but like with the warm tone neutrals up here, it would look really beautiful. So I think this is a really good palette. Like I said, this is not available anymore, so I don't really want to talk about it that much, but again, ties into the other Morphe 35O palette. I think these are both very good quality, and I do love Morphe shadows. I think they're very affordable and pretty much definitely worth it in my opinion. So next up I have the Carli Bybel BH Deluxe Edition palette. So I absolutely love Carli Bybel. I think she's one of the most beautiful people inside and out that I've ever like encountered in my life. She's stunning, but she just has such an amazing heart, and I really wanted to support her, so I picked up her collaboration. So while the packaging is beautiful, it's like a marble pattern. You also get a very big mirror in here. I'm tilting it backwards so you can't see the lights, but anyways, you get 6 highlighter shades in here, and then you also get 15 eyeshadow colors, so it's a really amazing quality palette. I think the eyeshadows here are absolutely stunning. It's perfect to create like a very nice neutral tone look. The way she arranged it is really accessible and easy to use. And then the highlighters down here are seriously the star of the show. Obviously these two are going to be too dark for me, so I do like to use these on my eyes as eyeshadows, but the rest of the highlighters in here are absolutely stunning. I'm just going to swatch this pink one down here. As you can see, very pigmented, and then I'll do it on my hand. Yeah, so stunning. I believe it's $23, which is just so good for such an amazing palette. So I would 100% recommend this Carli Bybel palette. I just love supporting her. I love watching her videos, and I think she did a really amazing job with this. Okay, so the last palette, I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to put this one in here because I don't think most people would consider this to be affordable, but like taking into context the amount of shades you get in here and the price per gram, the price per pan, and just the sheer quality of it, I just have to mention this one. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and I know what you're thinking. This is $38. That's not exactly affordable per se. You do get 35 colors in here, and it's $38, so that's a little bit over $1 per pan. But I just think this is probably one of the best quality palettes I've ever tried in my life. Mattes are so amazing. They blend like nothing I've ever tried in my life. They're very blendable, they're very pigmented, they're buildable, they're pretty much everything I would ever want in an eyeshadow palette. You have so many colors in here. It's just, I love looking at this. It inspires me to create new looks every single day. It inspires me to play with colors. It inspires me to just get out of my box with makeup. It's kind of hard for me to pick some favorite colors in this palette because I love them all. I've tried them all. They're just so amazing. Every single color in here. But I would have to say this shade right here, Beam right here, is an amazing brow bone highlight shade. I love using this on my brow bone and inner corner. I also really love this shade here called Silk Cream, my favorite transition shade. I love the shade Hunt. It's bright orangey red. It looks like ketchup to me. Here called SBN is my favorite like all over lid shade. So gorgeous. And then I love these three like red shades here. This one's called Roxanne, this is called Jax, and this one's called Buns. And I also love this like greenish, bluish shimmer shade down here called Diva. Beautiful. Anyways, this palette is absolutely amazing. It's also in Ulta, like pretty much everything else in this video. I know for a lot of people this wouldn't really be considered affordable. So that's kind of why I started with the cheapest items first, so you could see like the price get progressively higher. This is definitely amazing. I think the price is definitely worth it for the amount of quality you get in here and the product you get in here. I just love this palette so much. That was the last palette, and that concludes my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't as long as some of my other eyeshadow palette related videos, but the truth is, I'm not a huge fan of drugstore eyeshadows. I mostly just collect high-end because that's what I like to wear on my eyes personally. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video to show you guys you don't have to spend a ton of money on eyeshadow palettes to have really amazing quality stuff. These affordable palettes that I'm mentioning in here, I reach for these just as often as my regular like high-end eyeshadow palettes. And yeah, I genuinely love every single one of these palettes I mentioned, otherwise I wouldn't be talking to you guys about them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. In the comments, please let me know what your favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes are. I'd really love to know and try out some of your favorites as well. So yeah, if you made it to the very end of this video, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Bye.